Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Moe studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang on YouTube. We're live. Have your say to the UK. Double one, double two, double three, double not, double O, double not, double O. No, we're live on Twitch and YouTube. Just search for @ Tom and Dan Live. I've had too much caffeine, apparently.
Moe DeWitt's here. How you doing, Mo?
Good day, sirs.
And John Busdecker's here. How you doing, John?
I felt the shade on that. I felt the shade
No,
on that.
no, I was giving Mo his due
I know
first.
my place on this show.
Anybody else feel the shade on that?
No,
Lots of shade.
Little shade.
No, you introduced the star, and then co-star. You give it
Co-star.
some room.
Really brown nosing over there.
All I gave for this show for years that I was on it.
You did. You didn't give us much during your cop days.
No, because I had a job.
Yeah, you didn't give a lot during that. No,
And you said the cops are, they're
I
bullying
couldn't come
me.
on here every Friday.
And that's how and you know what? That's what soured the relationship, to be quite honest with you, is when he went full cop.
When I got a job?
Yeah, when you went full cop, we were like, we have to distance ourselves from this nerd.
I'm sorry I got a job.
I was like this geek sheriff is ruining our brand.
That $100 a week they're paying you wasn't tiding you over?
The cops wanted to distance themselves from us. They were like,
They did.
And they're like, I can't come on the show that much anime because the cops don't want me to.
BDMs, that's definitely a gang of some sort.
I'm like, that
they're
cop?
on the list.
I see your tattoos on your fingers.
I know.
I
Look
know
at that.
what that means.
Yeah, oh my God. I'm MS 13 inches tall.
Do they live in this world? Anyway,
we got some questions. We got some legal questions. Finally, for the first time ever in the history of our show, we have some legal questions.
Well, before we start, let's talk about the family skate-a-thon happening July 12th. Now this is like the RSVPs are coming in crazy fast.
Yeah.
This is pretty surprising, and I was like, wow, I did not know.
You don't think people want to hang out with Mo? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, it's just
Nobody wants to hang out with me, boss.
I mean, we've got.
Did you underestimate the power of skate?
Well, I think skate and also family, and then it's,
free helps too.
Mainly free.
Yeah.
But it's we've already gotten 500 RSVPs.
Yes.
Yeah. I could hear collectively a bunch of people go, "Hey, the guy that gives us stuff's doing a free thing." You know what I mean? Like,
You
I
know
can hear
what?
that.
You know what? Those people get in accidents.
Yeah, sure.
They're like, what's that free stuff got name?
They absolutely did. Oh, dab my head with a koozie.
So now to RSVP, you go to justcallmo.com/skate, right?
Yep.
And,
Easy. /skate.
and we're asking people to fill out the waiver beforehand. Let's talk about what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
John.
So when you go skating, you got to fill out a waiver, and we're going to try to get people to do that ahead of time so you're not waiting there at the event day trying to do it on your phone. So we'll send all that stuff out. All that's pretty simple. But right now, what we really want people to do is the RSVP for it.
Okay.
Just so we can get a list of people. And it's at Cimarron Skateway,
Yes.
Basically in Castleberry.
Yeah, it's right in Tom's yard.
Tom's backyard.
Yeah, it's literally you can throw a football to Tom's house from there.
I ran by today.
Yeah, you can smell the popcorn from his Halloween decorations that are still out.
My sons were there last week, and I was sitting there just watching. I was like, what
You
do
can
I-
watch from your
Weirdo.
front yard.
Yeah, it was me and a bunch of other dads just sitting on a hard bench.
Yeah.
No offense to Cimarron. Stay away from
It's not even carpeted?
Really selling this thing.
I thought normally they were carpeted, the benches.
They are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's that
still
hard skate carpet.
What color carpet? Is it blue?
No, it's like a.
Mine was blue.
burgundy.
Mine was blue with laser stripes.
That's kind of how I remember it. but
Yeah, blue.
It's been a minute.
There was dark blue, and then it had a light blue laser stripe that started like light blue, and then you know how you put white on the edges to make it look like a laser.
Yeah.
It was like an old art trick or something.
It is like walking into Stranger Things.
It's a time capsule.
Yeah, yeah,
I like the nostalgia. There's a lot
You're
of
like,
places.
whoa.
I'm really into that. Right now,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really into the vibe of an old bar. The vibe of an old skate park, or you go to the skating rink, you go to the flea market, like things that are like a little
Trashy.
A little simpler, just more
Sorry,
simple.
sorry.
So judgmental.
No screens, just simpler.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, like,
yeah.
let's
Yeah.
move our bodies a little bit and get off the goddamn screen.
God,
Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't mean to say that.
I was waiting to watch someone skate by with this looking at the screen. I was like, I can't wait to talk about this if
Yeah.
it happens. But it
It's
didn't
come to
happen.
bikes.
It didn't
It's come
happen.
to bikes. I see people biking and looking at their phones all the time.
Yeah.
We're there on bikes. It's only a matter of time.
I'm gonna tell my sons to do it just to troll the other parents and be like, "Look at these," You know, because they'll get mad if
You
they
should
say
give
that.
them full VR.
Oh, shit.
yeah, have them skate in VR, but don't have them skate. Just have them stand still.
He's virtually.
Hey, let's
skating.
bring a bunch of VR sets and just have your son stand in the corner.
This is better.
Look how fast I am. I'm a Pokemon.
They should do an old school night where you can smoke and skate.
Hey.
Go way back.
See, Mo's
want-
got the best idea.
Yeah, I wonder if we could rent
Cancel
out.
the family event. It's now a smoking event.
We'll just, I mean, if we combine the two, we'll have 3,000 people. It'll literally be Rockville. We won't be able to contain people screaming.
Smoking.
My God, Rob Zombie, what are you doing here?
And also, Mo, are you worried at all that someone's gonna fall down and sue you?
Well, I mean, they fall down. We sue someone on Skateway. Circle of life brings more business.
Yeah, I like this. I like
Well, that's what the waiver's for. Sign the waiver.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
But it's funny in 2025. It does seem old school, especially because like it is cool that basically hasn't changed the decor from the 80s of a roller
well,
rink.
what would you do? Like, what would you do to make it like crazy?
You could probably add like TV screen. They do have TV screens there, but like add more like music videos and stuff. But they don't even do that, to my knowledge. They just have
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
thing that lights up on the wall that like pumps to the music.
Yeah, they have all the lights and the music,
Yeah.
but it's just old school.
kinda
But
like that.
but if they change it, I don't think it would be as popular.
No, it's not gonna be as
you know?
fun.
Yeah.
Because even as parents sitting there, like we're all from the 80s, sitting there watching our kids,
Yeah.
and we're like, man, this is like being
It's
in the 80s
satisfying.
again.
Yeah, it's satisfying to
yeah.
us for sure.
It feels nostalgic.
Yeah,
when you
mine's
walk in
gone.
there.
My old place, Date and Skate in DeLand. I'm sure Volusia County folks that are listening right now will absolutely know what I'm talking about. I remember exactly what it smelled like. And my god sisters, shout out to them too. They were amazing skaters. So I spent a lot of time like either picking them up or watching them skate, and I skated too, but not like them. And they were like speed team, the whole nine. You know, like yeah,
Mine
skate
closed down too, where I grew up. Skateland, it was called.
sucks.
I didn't appreciate it while I was there.
I don't think I did either. You know, I should have skated more. I enjoyed it, but
I
it
did
just,
too. I do now,
Well,
obviously.
You're great. You're
thank you.
an excellent skater. I mean, like one of the best I've seen as a very old man.
I think Hot Wheels was my roller rink in Miami, and I think they're still around. And they had a giant roller skate car.
Yes,
Remember?
we've talked about that. Yeah.
But-
South Florida, shout out in the chat room. They had Galaxy Skateway.
Oh, yeah. All right, but that's justcalledmo.com/skate RSVP because there
you
is.
done with our remember when? Yeah, you done with that?
Well, we got a lot of questions
What are
from
you,
Mo.
He's Tony Soprano. over
There
here.
is a capacity,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
once we hit
Tony-
that capacity, we're not going to take any more RSVP.
You
So
know,
if you
Tony-
want to go, sign up.
Tony Soprano said that remember when was the lowest form of conversation.
That's all I talk about.
But also, if you don't want to skate, we have face painters, we have a balloon artist, and a caricature artist coming.
Oh,
God.
yeah.
I love a good balloon artist.
Oh yeah.
Will
It's
they make
amazing.
a sword and a
Balloon
hat?
swords.
Yeah.
All day
You
long.
know the other one I love, and I'm a classic guy. Sword is a classic, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, sword." No, lobster.
Lobster, that's hard.
I love it when they make a lobster.
I thought you were going to say standard poodle with.
That's pretty good too.
no.
Maybe
Ball
they'll make
tail.
some dirty ones for you.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a family.
Can you make Dolly Parton for me? All right. Hey, everybody, look, Sidney Sweeney.
It's a variation of the sword.
We call this one the Punisher. Hashtag Diddy.
Sorry,
Okay, first
Mo.
question. If I were dating a woman, and,
Come on.
How would
and-
Andrea feel about
and
that?
then then I spent $20,000 on her, and she left me for another man. Can I call up her mom and demand her mom pay me the $20,000 or I'm going to release 2 sex tapes right after Christmas Day.
Hold on, what is that? Because I know it's in reference to something.
It was
but
basically yesterday's testimony of the Diddy
Oh.
trial. He is a monster of a human being. My God. He called Cassie's mom because, she had left him, obviously, and then demanded that she pay him back. The mom. So the mom and her husband at the time took out a $20,000 loan and sent it to Diddy. He's a monster.
They paid Diddy?
Yeah, they paid him because he was going to
Well, he is
blackmail.
a
He's
monster.
blackmailing him. He's going to release the sex tapes.
Oh.
Right after Christmas. Oh, right after Christmas.
At least
That'd
he
be-
waited till
I forgot.
after Christmas.
I know. I know. I would have had him on deck.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's just me.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's an insane person. Yeah, that's a terrible story. Sorry. Let's do the real
You're
one.
multi-millionaire, you're asking for $20,000. You're talking to someone's parents,
Yeah.
and you're like, give me $20,000. They know you're P. Diddy.
Yeah, that's some super psycho material right there.
Could you imagine
Oh,
that
yeah.
person's dad like telling his buddy, and you're like, P. Diddy called me and blackmailed
and they
me."
went through with it. They got
No one would believe
they
you,
had
right?
to get
Yeah.
they got I think it was an equity line on their home to pay for it. It's
That's
super
awful.
sad. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, it's
that
super
really is
sad.
awful.
All right, let's get to some real ones.
Okay,
This one
all right.
is a real one, and it
Okay.
is for me, and it's not funny. It's real. I was listening to a podcast this morning. I like podcasts about podcasting, obviously, because it's our business. And on the Libsyn The Feed podcast, which I listen to because we're hosted by Libsyn, they are saying that the FTC now requires disclosure both before and after if you use AI to read an ad. So, for example, if Tom wanted to use AI to, he's already said he loves, the DeWitt law firm, right? Boom.
Yeah.
If he wanted to use AI to actively create a new ad, just basically reiterating what he's already said before.
But using my own voice.
But using your own voice, even though it's all been signed off on, even though you're all on board, even though, DeWitt is on board, that the FTC is saying that you would have to put a little
Disclose.
tag before and a little disclosure tag at the end, no matter what. And I was sitting in the car listening to this, and I'm like, well, then what's the point of even doing it? That's the dumbest
Right.
thing I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
absolutely.
That doesn't even make sense to me. And
What does the federal government have to do with this?
yeah, well, I guess where they get involved is if you, let's say, you wanted to do another ad, and this time I hadn't contacted you about it, but I have, I'm able to create an AI ad of you saying that you endorse a product that you don't endorse, or maybe I make you say a statement that's truly false, that's misleading to the consumer.
Okay,
That's
so
why-
it's to protect the person, not necessarily I was like, who is this to protect? I don't.
But that's more of a deceptive claims issue than an AI issue.
That's kind of
you
what I
know?
thought too.
Because frankly, like some of the ads that we have running on this radio station, on Real Radio, are AI. Like we make a song with AI.
What?
And then we clip it.
Oh my God, that's shocking.
Well,
we gotta go to break.
we
We'll be right
didn't
back.
put anything at the beginning or end. I'm joking. I don't care. Just like that.
yeah. This is where my I don't care attitude really does power.
Do I
through.
need to go back to the office and burn all the
Yeah.
computers?
Burn everything.
Now that I've done before. Ask Ed Till about me burning the tape. I am. You need help burning tapes. I'm your man.
I like when you just smash the outside and you're like, that's done. You're like, the information's in the inside.
It's always like a dumb Italian guy. Like you smash it with a hammer. He's like, "Wood done here."
You just
No, you're
smashed
not.
the plastic outside.
But I did laugh at that because I was like, well, that. I mean, that's silly that you would
Right,
have
that
to do that.
eliminates the whole purpose of AI, basically, because, yeah, if it says AI, nobody's going to use it then because it's just silly.
But
But
they're immediately going to tune out.
right, they're immediately going to tune out. The real issue there is, hey, you can't, utilize someone else's voice or use AI in a deceptive manner. Really should be what the rule is, not this nonsense, because that doesn't even help the actual purpose. If you say, hey, this is an AI generated ad, and then you have Tom, in Tom's voice read something that, he doesn't believe in. Well, you're
Tom
still
reading and saying things out loud
Correct,
is
yeah.
definitely
Right,
AI.
Yeah, which is why I
Obviously.
used him as the example. I'm hoping to get him reading through AI by the end of 2026.
Aren't you glad you had Busdecker on?
Why are we giving the mic? It was my idea.
Do you want to read the next one? I got it.
Yeah, all right,
This is from listener John. He says, my 4-year-old son needs blood work this weekend, and we needed some documents from when he was born. So his mom called the hospital he was born, and they refused to give him any information because they said she wasn't the birth mother. Eventually, they put her on as the mother, but they refused to tell her who she was listed at or who was listed as the mother. And then online, seeing our son's name card under mother, it is someone else's signature. Should we look into this more or move on? She's panicking. This is a total Tom question, by the way.
Move on. I love moving on.
She's panicking, thinking someone was trying to steal our son when he was born. Thank you, John. All right.
I mean, you still have the kid, so I guess not really a big issue.
I know what Tom would do. Tom would be like, "We got him. It's fine.
It's
right?
fine.
It's fine."
Yeah. But I like instead of thinking it was just some clerical error, that you're like, someone was trying to steal my son.
Your wife has done this before.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most world famous stories on this show was there a world famous story of a pair of, it's burned into my brain, a pair of Steve Madden shoes that are gone. And then I think you got a housekeeper for one time, and your wife thought the housekeeper stole the Steve Maddens.
Well, that's what crazy old ladies think. They always rich, crazy
Your
old
wife
ladies.
came out, she's like, someone took my Steve Maddens.
I've been there.
You lose things and you just assume someone stole it, and you're like, "What are you? Someone stole it."
Oh, they're on the back patio. You were drunk and you took them off. So like, right.
Like you think someone broke in here and stole your shoes? You understand how insane that sounds?
You know what I've done it with? That was really weird.
And they
I
didn't
caught
take anything
myself.
else?
I
They
did it
just-
with an egg pan one time. I go, someone stole my egg pan. And I'm like, you're an idiot. In the same breath, I caught myself.
But like, if I was a thief, that's the kind of stuff I would steal because no one would ever believe you.
Oh, you're the world's most perfect thief, the
Yeah.
egg pan bandit.
Egg fan bandit.
I'm like, walk me through this, babe. Someone came in here in the middle of the night, broke into
Hey,
the house,
Steve Madden's a respectable brand.
Yeah.
and then crawled into our bedroom, opening your closet door.
Yes, Steve Madden.
And then picked out a pair of like random size,
Busted
your
ass.
size.
Busted ass.
Yeah, old.
Some kicking rock, Steve Madden. You been kicking latitudes, sticking some daiquiris down the block.
2011 latitudes, and then they turned and then left and locked everything back.
Someone stole my F-me pumps.
Sorry. All right.
Wait, does this person not have a birth certificate though? Would they not have their name listed on it?
We're not
kid.
trying to
All right,
solve
I'm
the
just saying,
problem.
I'm
We're trying to
help.
entertain,
I'm
man.
trying to help out here.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, like Mo, how we did? What was that charity we went to? The
I don't know. We do so
identity-
many. We do so many.
Glad
right,
meant
right.
so much
Hold
to
on,
you, Tom.
Ask me again.
Oh yeah, what was that charity? we went to?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was online giving to a GoFundMe.
Yeah, all right.
Come again?
It was the ID, like the
iDignity.
iDignity. I love
yeah.
those guys. In fact, yeah, I actually want to do some stuff with them this year. They have a new facility.
They're opening, groundbreaking.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Like I was super surprised when like how hard it is if something
yeah.
gets screwed up, like your birth certificate or whatever, and
you're pardoned, but you're effed. Like these people, you can't
Then
leave
you're
down
like-
the water.
you
can do
need
nothing.
these other forms of ID, and you're like, well, I can't get that without my birth. And then
Yeah.
it's like this crazy circle,
It
and people
affects
just
transportation.
just give up.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So I guess it can be hard if your birth certificate is wrong to get all that changed.
Oh, it
right?
can be a mess. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why people probably just don't do it. They're like, whatever.
Just adopt a new identity and move on.
Yeah. This one is from Eric. He says, "Hey guys, I have a question for Mo. I receive about 2 to 5 spam phone calls every day. 95% are loan scams asking for more information to complete my loan application. Of course, I've not applied for said loans and know it's a scam, but the volume of calls just keeps coming in, and I've had to let my voicemail fill up so they would stop leaving voicemails. I also had to turn in the spam call feature, but that was proven to be detrimental to running my company. Or turn on, rather. I think that's what he meant. I'm on the do not call list and have been since its creation, but the calls keep coming. Can I receive monies from them for constant harassment and not complying, or for them not complying with the do not call list? Thanks so much, Eric."
Yeah, so you can. It's under the TCPA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. The tough part is usually you have to play along with the scam to figure out who it is that's actually calling. So usually what they're doing is they use like a third-party call center that calls you, that does these spam calls. And then if you pretend to be interested, they'll kind of string you along, and then eventually they'll transfer you over to the real company. And if you can get the real company's name, then you can initiate an action against them. And there's actually some like TikTok channels and YouTube channels kind of dedicated to showing you how to do this essentially.
I probably
But-
see those if I
but
wasn't
it
on
does-
breastfeeding.
It does take a bunch of time.
Yeah,
you know
sorry,
what I mean?
buddy.
It's- It takes
yeah.
a bunch of time, but I think it's a statutory fine. I want to say it's maybe like $1,000 or somewhere around there that you can get. But the hardest part is kind of keeping them on the phone long enough, pretending to be interested to actually get the company's name to go after them.
I mean, if somebody will do that for me, I will give you half the money. If somebody will, I'll give you all my information, and you can call on my behalf. I'll give you $500.
Well, you know what sucks is
Right? That's free money.
Yeah.
there's a part of the government that's supposed to be controlling this.
No,
that's
no,
too
no, no,
busy making people put AI things on the beginning and after commercials and focusing on the wrong thing because they should be stopping this because all I get is spam calls to the point where I had to stop just answering my phone.
You got one yesterday.
Is that why you don't answer the phone when I call you?
He
I
did.
was like, it's all spam.
Mo,
crap.
he did something yesterday that I don't think I've ever seen in, how long have I known you? 20 years? 22
Yeah.
years? 25 years? Something like that? He got into it with the person on the phone. And I know the listeners are going to not believe me because I don't have video or any proof of it, but he was like, I'm not going to give you that information because I don't know if you're a scam. Well, you'll have to take that up with my wife and she's not here, but I'm not going to give you that information because how do I know it's a scam? Well, how do I know? How can I verify you?
You know what's funny?
And I was like, whoa. And I kind of like, I was like, I was very proud.
That was a collections agency. The only non-scam.
You're just lying to them. I love it.
Well, no, that's a whole
Goddamn,
different
you got me.
scam.
Still after you for that Orlando Sentinel subscription?
No.
I just subscribed to that this morning. I did subscribe to the Sentinel this morning. I got a whole year for $3.
we took Max to the pediatrician like years ago for something.
Never do that. That's why. Why'd they get rid of the Flea World Witch Doctor? That guy was awesome.
And we have insurance, and the pediatrician said that our insurance didn't cover something, and then we forgot to go back and forth, argue with the insurance
There it
agent.
is.
Well, why do I have to do that? I was like, oh no, the insurance
That's the
won't.
Andrea part. She always looks through what you're saying, and then there it is.
Well, of course, it's a little bit my fault.
It's like when you're talking about breakdancing, you're like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't show up for breakdancing class. We were sitting on the thing. We're sitting there. We're just sitting there. And nobody remembered it. I'm like, well, there it is.
But the system is broken, and I have insurance to pay for this, and they're like, denied. And then I was like, oh, well, you have to fight with them to get them to pay. And then I'm like, well, what are we even doing?
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now for my
That's
leg.
the system. We pay $1,000 a month for insurance, and then they won't cover anything, and then you have to fight with them.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm fighting right now with my leg
So-
because I would owe like $42,000.
So then it goes to
And
collections.
it's not even that great. It's not even that great of a leg.
And Crystal actually,
good.
she ended up making some deal with them and making a
Oh
payment
my
or whatever.
God, like an
Did
indecent.
she give him her Steve Madden?
She did. Oh my God, she did an indecent proposal. Oh my God, they land the helicopter. Woody Harrelson.
No,
$1
rolling
million.
around in the
Oh,
face.
I don't
Oh
want
my
to sound.
You can
no.
sleep with my
Oh
husband.
my God, she's rolling in the money.
No, I don't want to sound trashy, like I'm not paying my debts.
Well, then don't tell that story.
No, but I'm saying I paid. I have insurance anyway. So
Is
Crystal,
that Tom Mangione over there?
no, we paid them, and then they still sent it to collections or something. So then collections is calling me over and over, and they're like, "You owe this," and I'm like, prove to me I do." I'm like, and they're like, "Did you Max Van whatever the state?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but we've settled it with the doctor," and they're like, "I don't know," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know either." Then screw you. That's what I was like. Then
Yeah.
prove that I owe it.
That's pretty
Because
accurate, right?
It's all. Like, what about the insurance? And the
I
insurance
wound him
paid?
up pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I got him
And then
good.
they're like, "Sir, we're just collecting a debt." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not paying."
You don't need to yell at me, baby. You know, we're all humans.
It's all broken. Anyway, sorry, Mo.
You lower your tone, baby.
Do we have any more questions?
I'm glad you got that.
Yeah,
out.
that was it. That's all the ones I had.
Tell them to send you a letter. Just be like, send me a letter. If they'll go that far, it's actually probably true.
They're like, "Well, just keep calling."
Is it illegal? I just thought of this. Is it illegal to send like my own letter, like pretending to be an attorney to somebody to get them off my ass?
Well, yeah.
Like,
if
if
you
they-
pretend to be an attorney, yes, that's illegal.
Is that
Oh,
illegal?
really?
Yeah.
You guys aren't cops.
I can't just say
God,
I'm
I
an
can't.
attorney.
I can't pretend to be anybody.
I thought I could say I'm anybody.
Yeah. I really
Except
thought.
for cops.
I really thought.
But I'm
Doc-
firefighter
okay,
even.
This is really what I thought. a lawyer and doctor, you can say you are, unless you just can't practice what they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But you can say, I've been saying I'm a doctor in every bar in this town. I mean, yeah, they used to call me Dr. Giggles.
Yeah. So you
Giggles.
can't say you're a lawyer.
I mean, no, well, you could probably say you're a lawyer or a doctor at a bar. That's probably not illegal. But if you're
Yeah.
sending letters threatening people, that would be
I'm
unlicensed
just trying to get
practice
this
law.
slam hog landed.
What if I write just the letters next to my name like a lawyer does?
Which letters, Tom?
Which letters?
There's a
Do you know
couple
they
of them. Yeah. Oh,
A, B, C, D, D, E, S.
PA. Last question.
Double
Mo.
I, MCO.
So Daniel brought it up at the beginning, but the kids on electric dirt bikes riding around, right?
Yeah.
So
I really do hate them because they're gonna get like. I'm sure they are. That's the funny thing. I tell my wife, I'm like, the stats on children getting injured on these Ciron bikes has got to be like off the chart.
So when Max and Tommy eventually want an electric dirt bike, I'm gonna get them one. You know,
Of course.
You should get
in
them.
front of the Christmas
That's
tree.
not what I was saying. That's not
Maybe
what
you
I
should
was
pay
saying.
your collections before you start dropping money on dirt bikes.
They'll just repo the dirt
Yeah, you
bike.
just pay cash. You pay cash.
And so I'm gonna get them one, and then I'm gonna let them ride around the town, right, Mo? And so they're riding around town
tell
doing
me.
wheelies, and in front of Publix, and Daniel's
I'm
buying his
yelling
little
at
big,
them. I'm throwing my
beers.
cane at them.
And so they.
I had to yell at some kids a couple days ago. I was buying a tall boy, and they disrespected me.
Unbelievable.
Max is doing that wheelie where you lean
It's a
back.
tall boy for a short man.
Have you seen this one? You lean back while you're doing the wheelie and you drag your arms behind
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he's dragging his arms behind him doing a wheelie and he rams into an old lady, Mo, right?
Yeah.
And
It just blows her teeth out.
so then, Max is calling me. The cops are there. This old lady's, filling out. She's screaming. And I'm like, tell her to get up. Walk it off. And so anyway.
Put her teeth back in so it looks less severe.
Can I get sued because my son is out there doing no-handed wheelies?
Absolutely.
Oh God!
Yeah.
So I can get
That's
sued.
what
Yeah,
I mean,
he's taking
that's-
down the family.
Well, he
that's
did
the
it.
thing.
It's your kid.
I didn't know he was doing this. He's out there
Well, that's
doing
good.
it.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I didn't know he's doing that. He's out there just running them up. He's one of them there ne'er-do-wells.
So they can actually sue me.
They could. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right. Well, what would they sue my insurance or sue
Well,
me
it depends if you have
personally?
insurance that covers it, because that's kind of the weird thing with those types of items is they may not be covered under your homeowner's policy. They're certainly not covered under your car insurance
If I know this
policy.
guy, he's got the cheapest.
He's got the-
cheapest cheap.
He doesn't even have the general. He has whatever's below
What's
the
the
general.
least
It's a-
amount of coverage you can
a
carry
private.
on everything?
It's a
On
Florida
everything.
Coast Guard insurance. Crushing you, sweet. I'm like, that's all you're getting.
Florida Coast Guard.
Yeah. So you can't get
Come
sued,
to the
but-
guard.
It's poorly drawn. So they can sue me personally, though.
Yes, they
Okay,
can,
all right.
and then you'll get more collections calls.
All right. Yeah. That's oh God, I don't want that. But it does seem like that's coming. Where there's going to be a lot
Yeah.
more cops stopping.
They're dangerous. I mean, it's just a disaster waiting to happen, frankly.
Yeah.
You gotta. That's why you gotta run.
You ditch the bike and just run.
No.
Oh.
I mean, these things are way faster than a cop car, and so much more nimble.
Also, sign up to become a VIP because you'll get not only a metal card but also access to all the great events that Mo puts on. So you can do that at justcallmo.com, right, Buzz?
Yep, justcallmo.com/VIP. That's all free. Generally, when we do events, the VIPs get first dibs on all the
Nice.
events we do.
Awesome.
And what about merch? Because I mean, if I get hit up about Mo merch all the time.
Why are they hitting you up? I'm the one that sends it out.
You know what? If I'm just being honest,
Send them my way.
We're a
Send
little
them my
more.
way.
Tom and I are a little more approachable.
You're
You're a little rough on them. You're a little rough on them.
No, but honestly, if anybody wants Mo merch, let me know. I usually
Awesome.
I go to the post office like 4 times a week.
I bet.
And I mail stuff out because people want it and I want to get it in their hands.
Well, it's awesome merch. I love it.
Yeah, Mo Gold Teeth coming soon.
So,
Are you
really?
serious?
Yeah, Bus is working on it.
I'll wear the hell out of those. I want gold tooth. I want a gold tooth so bad. But my wife
Just
won't let
my
me
face
get
on
one.
it.
My wife won't let me get one.
No?
Did you know Heinz, the Heinz Corporation, came out with gold teeth in Brazil, and they're sharp, and they have different ones for ketchup, mayo, and relish, and you use the little a metal piece on your tooth to cut the tab open.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw the article in Verge. It was awesome.
Well, Mo, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Busdecker, thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you guys.
And we will be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. Come hang out with us at Tom and Dan Live. Like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Now in beautiful, glorious 4K. Welcome to 2008, Tom and Dan. Great job, guys.
2008, good year.
Yeah, it was a great year.
Underrated year.
Oh, yeah.
I remember old 2008.
It was an excellent year.
I was like, we weren't at 10 yet.
Nope.
We're like, well, I was thinking about 10. I was like,
like
wow,
it 8.
2010.
You know why I
that's
like
the
it
future.
8? It's a double 4.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that made me really sad.
And it was still close enough to 9/11 where we remember.
I still remembered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very foggy now, 9/11. I can barely make out what it was. Are you, do you have anything to plug here, or can I tell you something very sad?
The Science Center, the Orlando Science Center, is doing their Science Night Live adult-only event.
Yeah, man.
And that's May 31st, osc.org for tickets. And it's about DC superheroes. So it's all superhero-related because of a new exhibit that just opened about superheroes.
Is Wonder Woman a DC? I believe she is.
Yes. Yeah. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman.
Yeah. Wonder Woman had an invisible jet.
Was she? All right.
So now I'm going to tell you something very, very sad that's going to affect your love life, sir.
Yep.
5 Bahama Breeze restaurants are closing across Central Florida.
No, really?
The date night for the Vans is officially DEA dead.
Now,
I'm going to put another D on there.
The full disclosure, me and Crystal haven't been to a Bahama Breeze in a while. And maybe it's
times are tough. I know you've been rubbing their nickels together.
maybe it's people like us that have caused the demise of Bahama Breeze.
You maybe should have been going. What was your poison when you saddled up to the old Bahama Breeze? What'd you get? A Rasta pasta?
Yeah.
What do you get, a little Rasta pasta?
Well, it's like you're in the Bahamas, Daniel.
God.
You see what I'm
We
saying?
be jamming, man.
It's like I'm in the Nassau, Bahamas, right off the cruise ship. It puts you in that vibe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why we liked it. And then you get the Rasta pasta.
Yeah, I gotta get a Rasta pasta.
And then
excuse me, can I have some more of your boom boom sauce for my coconut shrimp?
I get a pina colada.
Hey!
And the whole decor
Yeah.
is like I'm in some sort of hut.
And you know what? I also think you and Crystal did? You'd always get mixed vegetables and feel fancy. Ooh, there's zucchini in there.
Yeah.
Zucchinis.
And there were little areas like gazebos set up inside the restaurant.
Yes, it's like tiny little plantations.
And I would get so disappointed that they sat me outside the gazebo.
Oh, put me in a gazebo.
Yeah, because I was like, well, now
this looks like Jimmy Buffett's office.
half the reason that I even came, you've taken away from me
You did.
because I wanted to eat in the gazebo.
Do they still have the fancy fans?
Yes.
That it's
The
like
Bahama fans.
So it's like a fan. It's like a hand fan, and then somebody looked up at a regular ceiling fan and said, "You know what would produce more air is if we glued 4 of those Savages fans, and we glue the Savage fans." Up.
Yeah, it's because we have no idea about what really the culture is in
No,
the Bahamas.
we
so
just
we
steal all of it and shove it into a building.
Yeah, I know it's the tikis and the hand fans involved.
What rhymes with pasta? Rasta. All right, let's do it.
Also, like now I think about it, I'm like, this was nothing like the Nassau Bahamas that I went to. It's just
Wow.
like-
There's too many fat white people with Hawaiian shirts on yelling at me.
Yeah.
I always found the wait staff to be very rude.
And then
at
I-
Bahama Breeze, I said what I said.
And it didn't even go into the actual Bahamas because I was like, ooh, it's
Yeah.
scary.
Well, it's not really the Bahamas. It's just the breeze.
Yeah.
You're just downwind. You're just downwind from the Bahamas, which is basically Florida.
Yeah.
So it checks out.
Anyway, so they're going or they're just closing some stores?
I guess 5 locations within the Central Florida area. I don't know if it will affect our Altamont location, the one that I know that you like to go to try to get lucky. It used to be called Get Lucky Lane.
Get a 1 vodka cranberry, please.
A vodka cranberry. And my wife would like the tallest glass of yellowtail you have. 2 Rasta pastas, please.
Because I have no idea what's fancy, but I'm like, a vodka cranberry sounds like, I'm like, yeah, but that's it's not fancy at all. It's a basic, like, might as well order vodka and orange juice.
That's a screwdriver. Yeah. That's pretty good.
I think that's islandy. I'm like, is that islandy? I'm like, I don't know. And then I asked the waitress, I'm like, you're from Altamont Springs. What's islandy?
Let's jump into some voicemails. Let's dig into this one right here. This is from it's our buddy that calls all the time. He has a bit of a dilemma, and it ties into restaurants.
Hello, Tom and Dan. I have a question, I guess mostly for Daniel, because I believe he has experienced this before. But quick backstory, my wife's student is getting a job, and it's going to be at a place called Mission Barbecue, which is about to open around here. And we have been invited to a luncheon for friends and family of, I guess, the employees, as kind of a, pre-opening trial, like a lot of places will do, a stress test, as John Taffer might say. And I'm really concerned that when I get there, they're going to make me stand up for the national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just there to eat some food, hopefully cheaper, discounted food. What should I do?
Now you stand for the national anthem.
Well, go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, that is your choice.
This is our mission.
Yeah, like, look, you could either go there and participate like everybody else is, or you can take your ass not there.
Yeah. And if you don't stand, I'm going to throw my barbecue.
I would do that. I would do that. If I'm and look, I stood awkwardly during the national anthem at Mission Barbecue, and if I have to stand awkwardly because I didn't know what the hell I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know the gimmick, and I'm just like, what? Some old man's looking at me. I'm like, yes, sir. I stood right up with my wife, and I'm standing there, and the barbecue is fine. It's fine. But yeah, stand. Don't be disrespectful, and don't sit at a protest. Or you could cap her neck in front of the restaurant if you want.
You kneel.
You should kneel. Okay, that's what you do. I changed my whole stance.
That's going to cause a problem there, I think.
But hold on. To appease the people that don't like you kneeling, big afro wig. And then you balance it out. If you cap her neck, kneel with a big afro wig, you appease both sides. Right. Everyone comes together for barbecue.
By the way, you walk in with an afro or wig, I'm going to figure out what you're going to do. I'm like, oh, this guy's going to kneel. I can't wait.
We got a Kaepernick.
I'm going to film it, put it on TikTok. But they probably laugh, right?
Yeah, because they're humans. Yeah, like at the end of the day, those are all just human beings in there. They're probably like, oh, look, this guy's got an afro wig. And if you don't stand for it, you probably by some old Vietnam vet he's gonna think you're being disrespectful, and you kind of are.
Yeah, but
that's your choice.
Because that's their gimmick. So you're opting into the gimmick.
You already know the gimmick. If you don't know the gimmick and you don't stand, I'll give you an ignorance pass. But if you know the gimmick and you go there actively to just be a D-head, then I don't like that.
So let me ask you, because the people have different opinions.
And there's better barbecue. I'll just throw that out there too. No offense, just throwing that out there.
So when you're walking through the concourse, I know we've talked about this before, of like
I love it when you give me a dilemma.
NBA game or a Solar Bears game, whatever. You're walking through the Amway, and
it's hard for me because I'm an M word.
You're getting to your seats, and they're doing the national anthem.
Yes.
If everybody in the concourse...
I stop where I'm at.
But not everybody stops. So then I just have adopted the rule, I'm just going to do what the majority's doing. Because if everybody stops, I'll stop.
So you're doing what you do for fun.
What do you mean?
You look around and you're like, oh, I do what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's called the I'm from another planet.
So, and it seems like we are not dead set on stopping what you're doing in the concourse of a sports game and looking at the closest TV or, facing the flag. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody just kind of goes about their... they're trying to get their last-minute beers and then go to their seats. In the concourse,
well, if you want to skip it,
some people do stop.
I don't like telling people how to do this. If you want to skip the national anthem, you run into the bathroom with a beer and you poop.
Well, yeah,
that's how you do it.
What if you're in the bathroom? Then you
don't stand. You have to do anything. No, if you're in the maybe take your hat off unless you're washing your hands or something. You get a pass in the bathroom.
But I think even in the concourse, I'm just telling you what I've seen. There's no one. For the very
You should.
rarely,
I
they
do.
stop.
I kind of do. I think it probably has to do with how my mom and dad like raised me. You know.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then
And
it's
damn
like,
sure take my hat off.
this is the point of America. Do what you want. To, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah. So
but
like,
I'm not gonna. I'll tell you that though. I'm not gonna shame people or be like, "Well, you're doing the wrong thing if you're just carrying about your day, getting your pizzas." I don't care.
Yeah,
It's not my business.
I'd say, well, I'm just following everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
Don't you do that? Like, I just do whatever.
Now,
everybody
what
else
about
does.
if you're in your seat? Are you and you're
No,
just
you
sitting
show
there on your
respect.
phone like a you
No,
you
get
scroll,
off-
scroll,
get
scroll.
off
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
up, take
yeah.
your hat off, and pay your respects. Yeah.
I don't even mind so much about the hat, even though like people take offense to the hat, and I'm just like some people
forget.
they forget. It's
Yeah.
like I don't think they're leaving their hat on to spit on the flag of the. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they just don't
Unless
remember.
your hat says like "I spit on the flag," then that's. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I guess that's why you're leaving it on. Then.
Yeah. Do whatever you want. This is America. I don't even give a damn. Anyway.
All right, you want another one?
Yeah.
Let's do. Do you want a serious one? No, I don't want to do a serious one.
Okay. All right.
Let's go to.
How serious?
Pretty serious.
Can't we make a joke about it?
You can, but I don't think this person was making a joke about it. She called in about pushing kids and what our jobs are as parents, and she was like addressing you from like the heart, and it was like a really heartfelt, like very.
Oh, I thought you meant like literally pushing them. Because
Yeah,
I'm like, that's
well,
kind of
no,
funny.
No, it is funny. No, like pushing, like.
Oh, pushing them to do
pushing
something.
them to do stuff like that.
No, listen, lady. I know. I know what the right
Do you
answer
wanna hear
is.
it? Do you wanna hear
Yeah,
it?
like people think I don't know what the right answer. I'm telling you my dilemma. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
like, I'm telling you,
they're
it's
saying
hard.
if you never choose to do anything, then you'll always have a dilemma.
Well, people have dilemmas. I'm a human being. I thought that's the point.
Yeah, he didn't know the national anthem was
I'm not-
playing, and he had his hat on. He ducked in the bathroom to take a poop.
I'm extremely flawed, like everybody, and I'm just laughing at how flawed I am.
Let's try this one.
Hey, Tom, I got a business idea for if you're interested. I've been hearing a lot about GoFundMes and stuff like that, and it's always for, somebody passed away, and it's a big GoFundMe, maybe to fund for their kid's college or something like that, and that's cool. But there's another side. Maybe it's the really, really, really micro side of things that there's an opportunity for some money there. Like, say if I just had like a little bit of a bad day, like, I don't know, like I was late for work or something, or maybe I got some mashed potatoes from from KFC and there was no gravy in it. You know what I mean? You post that, this was my bad day, and then people could be like, it's not terrible. I mean, 15 cents. Here's 15 cents of this. Here's 20 cents or whatever. Like, we kind of capture the small, like a little bad day kind of micro GoFundMe.
Micro
We call it
crowdfunding.
something like let me get a little bit of money.com or something.
I like
Is that possible?
I love this idea of micro. No one's doing this.
Micro-dosing crowdfund. Where you're like, I just made $14. I feel better.
Well, you leave it in there over time.
Yeah.
Over 30 years, you could get to like maybe $1,000.
The problem is it worth you asking your
No.
social media, like, in the hate you'd get, or at least the people looking down on you for
I don't think
asking for
anybody's
money?
even looking at mine anymore.
They still look at it.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
They're skimming by it.
Yeah,
you know.
it's so fast now. I used to get just a couple of hearts and stuff like that. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I got nothing now.
It's a lot to distract you nowadays. But the people that do a crowdfund for seemingly something that, for in general, everybody's paid for themselves, and like, yeah, it sucks to have like, your dog get surgery or whatever, but if you have the ability to pay for it, you just don't want to. I'm like, yes, that's how everybody feels.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to pay, but the point of the GoFundMe is like, I cannot pay this, and I really want to, but I have no money.
But those
to
are the ones I like.
the
The ones I like,
Yeah,
and the
it's
ones that my personality gravitates to are the ones where it's a person that I know, and they're like a friend. Like a friend.
So enough.
I know enough
you can
of
pay.
them, yeah.
You can pay for this. Like, you've been working long enough. You have a 401k.
But they still do
You
the
have a
GoFundMe.
savings.
I like that.
Yeah. But I'm okay. I like it too because I'm like, how do you have the balls?
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Like, yeah,
it's not for me, but it makes me laugh. That's what I should say when I say I like it. I'm not pro it. I don't think anybody should do it. But if you do it, and I know you.
Of course, they're the friends and family they're promoting it to.
But it's
the only people they know.
It's a great way for me to know subconsciously that you are a bad person, and I like that. I enjoy it.
It's like this is the last group of people I want to know that I'm doing this. but that's the first group.
But I don't care. But I don't care if they know.
How can you not care? That's what surprises me.
Well, what does it matter? Let me ask you this. So they know.
Like, aren't you?
What does it matter if they know? So my dog Dansby was sick.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do it. Like my dog Dansby was sick, and he had to have 9 inches of his lower colon removed.
Yeah.
And it's cost me an upwards of $8,000.
Yeah.
And
then you put a GoFundMe.
I put a GoFundMe up there. And the listeners, I believe our listeners are very kind people. Especially when we got a sick kid or somebody like that. They will step up and they will hit it out of the 100%. Park. And they also love animals. That's right under their children.
And they'll do it for you because you haven't burned any bridges yet.
No, I don't know. I've burned some bridges. I have.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
I've slept with a lot of listeners' wives.
If you did this.
They called me Baldwin Diddy. They don't ever say that. I should have never said. Why would I say that?
So but you asked for that, and I see it on my social, and then I'm like, oh my god! At first, I called my wife.
You
I'm like,
and
hey,
Crystal would be.
Oh yeah, we tell
everyone. Hey Fernando, look at this mother. Hey turkey leg, look at this mother. Hey wizard, look at this.
You know what's
look at Dan did, and you put it in the WhatsApp, and then you guys would all be clowning. Oh, why did he do that? Oh my god, why did he do that?
They're from Miami. They're like good for him.
Yeah.
He's scamming.
I get a private message of Porto Joe. He's like, all right.
But
the Grizz would laugh.
But seriously, though, if you did, you'd be so embarrassed by the people you know.
I could never do it. But if I did,
and they know you could pay for it.
But we see people do this all the time. So explain it. Why do they do it?
They don't want to pay for it. They're
Then how are they able to power through people judging them? They know people are judging them.
That's
You're also thinking of the exact case that I'm thinking of right now. So explain it. And I'm not gonna do the thing I always do. Like, so explain it. How does it happen?
Their cheapness, their mental illness cheapness is so powerful. It's more powerful of a feeling than the feeling of embarrassment.
So shame.
Because it is embarrassing.
So they're cheapness.
If your friends and family know you can pay for it and you're asking for other people to pay for it, because you're basically admitting to every adult that you're friends with of like, hey, just like you do in normal adult life, you come across things that you have to pay for and you don't want to. And it's like, it's a setback. I was saving this for a vacation and now I'm going to have to use it for my dog. And like, that's what happens. That's what being an adult is about, is you having to do things sometimes you don't want to do. You shouldn't be asking people, your friends and family, for money just because you don't want to pay for it.
Well, let me ask
you
this.
They don't want to pay for it either.
What about...
But maybe they're like, hold on, defending a monster here.
Well, did you think...
It's only $20 to you.
Okay, we've known a person that's done this. Probably, I've known actually multiple people that have done this. Do you think that when they did it, that they knew that they would fulfill the GoFundMe? Because if the answer is yes, then we both know that they were weaponizing a certain level of fame that they had. And that's when it becomes a little weird, right? Because you're basically saying, well, there are going to be people here that understand that I can pay for this, but there's also a huge swath of people that don't know at me as personally, and they're the people that are going to step up and pay for this. So then it becomes a little gross, right? That's when it becomes gross.
Yeah, but also,
do you think that's what happened there?
Also, that it's, and you know what, I don't want to get too serious, but I did feel a little bit like this when I asked for money for my niece when my brother died.
Yeah.
Where I was
you
like...
You told me about this, yeah.
But I like, at the time, I didn't have any, like, this
company was nothing.
But also, it seemed like I was like, well, this person, my brother was, he's come on the show, and it's for his niece, and which I did take 100% of the money, put it into a collar fund for.
And it's still running.
Is more than double now.
Yeah, it's still running along.
And I appreciate that.
Well, so no. You're not. You can't even put yourself in the equation, because what you did was like brother with daughter,
and maybe I emptied my 401k and I raised like $10,000, and I could have technically taken a loan out of my house, take my 401k and got that $10,000, didn't have to ask. But I would assume that a lot of people
that's different than getting your dog's anal glands popped. Like it's way different.
I know
way
it is.
Different.
I know, 100%. And for a lot of people, they were willing to do it. Like, here's $20, $50.
Also, you should probably let more people know that it's doubled by now, because a lot of the people that donate donated to that are still listening right now, and they probably think that's pretty freaking awesome. And also, they, you know what
Yeah,
they
so
think
almost
was
10
awesome
years
is
ago.
that you have a good and healthy relationship with your
Niece.
brother's niece or
Yeah.
with your brother's daughter.
Yeah.
Your
No.
niece.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
my-
So mission accomplished, I would say.
Also, I'm glad for technology and Roblox in this case because they play and have grown up playing together, like
Right.
with on like FaceTime and then
At
like,
a time where they
Roblox.
could be complete strangers, they
Yeah,
are
because she
not.
lives in Miami,
Yeah.
so they know each other very well because they're constantly able to connect through technology, which I'm very appreciative of because I was worried that they wouldn't have a closer relationship, and they end up having that because of technology.
Yeah.
Not all bad.
You gonna cry?
No, that my phlegm.
I know.
But it's so sometimes I'm constantly whatever they make it.
No, SJ, and I don't think he's saying something completely different, but it just lined up that his comment came out as you were explaining about the GoFundMe for your brother's daughter, and he said this is kind of like Alyssa Milano, who got the heat for doing the GoFundMe for her kids' baseball team to get new shirts, and everybody was like, "Why don't you just buy them?"
yeah.
I remember that. I remember that.
So that is where I'm surprised they didn't. That goes back to how did you not know this was going to look poor?
Well, that's just
the bad public move of like
you're out of touch.
Even maybe you just thought they were going to take it differently, or
Yeah,
there
it's
is
kind
that
of like when the president says you're not going to get 21 baby dolls, you only get 3. Like it's like there's a certain level, and that's not political. That's just like there's a certain level of out of touch that rich people are, where they don't understand. Like,
well, who needs 21 baby dolls?
You know what? I think when I heard that, I
I
was
got a pile of baby dolls.
like my dad
Kicking
rolled it
them out
out
of
for
the
me.
room.
My dad rolled it out for me. man. I
Oh
just-
my God, the trash in
I
the
got
playroom.
all the GI Joes. I probably got 21 GI Joes.
yeah, but that was back in the day when you played GI Joes. Now they're just playing Roblox, and then you're
Yeah,
tripping
all
the
these-
GI Joes. I'm like, oh,
You know what's good though about Roblox? Can't trip over Roblox.
I know.
It's pretty good. Can't see your child either. Let's try this one right here.
Hey, Tom and Dad. Tom has recently been expressing I'd call it a concern that his children aren't, impressed by their childhood or talking about what he wants them to remember and indoctrinating them into enjoying the outdoors. And I thought I would chime in on this because I've been thinking a lot about it lately. And I remember every single adventure that my father took me on because I looked up to him, and your boys look up to you. And so it's like your hero / favorite person / leader taking you on these adventures and directly spending time with you. One of my most fond...
I mean, not to pause in there, but I have been saying this for a very long time, and I don't get credit for being right in here very often. But yeah, you're doing the right thing just by spending massive loads amount of time with your little adventure buddies.
Well, explain this to me then. How would you treat Superman if he walked in the door? If Superman, I'd be like, whoa!
That's a great tie-in. You can go see Superman at the Orlando Science Center, DC Comics.
I'd be like, oh my God!
You'd
Like,
hug him.
I'd be like,
I'd be
oh.
ripping his pants off. I'd be hugging him and kissing him.
I'll be like, hey,
I love you, Superman.
I'm like, tear this in half, shoot this with the laser. I'd be around him all day, just asking him to do
Yeah.
impressive things and like, tell me about the world, Superman.
Yeah, what's it like flying over Iceland?
I would never stop bothering him about telling me
Fly me around again.
all his knowledge and showing me his feats of
I
strength.
don't think Superman was known for his knowledge. I think he's probably really smart, but I don't think. And neither are
wasn't
you
he
really.
super-
Like, I mean, no offense, but
Wasn't he super smart or no?
I mean, I don't think he was dumb, but I don't.
he
think...
was like a corn local.
corn loco. Who is
local, like a corn farmer. He was like
I thought he was like Fieldly from the band Korn. He was like Monkey from Korn,
all I'm saying is my sons don't treat me like a hero based on
Well,
their
you
behavior.
don't do anything they're into.
Why? I come back from runs. I'm like, look how sweaty. I tell them,
Look how sweaty I am. Awesome, huh? And they're like, Roblox way better. You need to play Roblox.
they don't even turn around from the screens.
I wouldn't either.
They're like,
I've seen it. I've seen you come out of the bathroom 1,000 times in your little swimming pecker pants, whatever those are. I don't look at it anymore.
I come back from runs sweaty. I take my shirt off, and then I walk into the playroom. They're both like their computers are they're turned away from me.
They're like two little programmers hammering on some stuff.
And then I'm like, I just got back from a run, 5.3 miles, heart rate average 164.
Oh my god.
Zone 5 the whole time. And then Max is like, oh, cool. I'm like, you didn't even turn around. I'm looking at you.
You don't even know what Zone 5 means.
Yeah.
The highest level, it's red. Red, orange, yellow. Supposed to keep it in the yellow.
And they didn't even turn around. They're just playing Roblox. So that's all I'm saying, sir, is, and they don't tell me, they're like, oh, we love New York so much. Thank you for taking me, like Moab, all these things.
Yeah. I mean, in the chat room, they know they're done with it because they figured it out. They're like, yeah. And again, this whole mentality is from Tom losing his dad in an early age. It was like, yeah, we can tie a little bow on it. We know what it is.
Quit trying to figure me out, chat room. That's not it.
Just let me fail.
What else is born this way? Even
Lady
if he's still alive. Yeah.
Let's try one more.
It's impossible to prove.
Let's try some good ones here. Let's try this one right.
So do you think okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah, no, please.
So I do hope that my sons one day will want to take their kids on adventures or whatever, because I think it'd be valuable to for like.
Well, they'll be on universal income, so no money. I don't know how they're going to afford the adventure. I mean, you guys are going so crazy. You're going to Sweden for Christ's sake. That's going to be awesome.
It'll be digital adventures.
Digital Sweden.
Like just as good.
Yeah, but then unfortunately, Maisie's even worse. She's doing digital Pigeon Forge. Not good. She'll just stay home. She's like, I don't even want to go.
Digital Daytona Beach boardwalk.
Digital to Hollywood. Oh, it's great. It stinks out here. Oh, they pumping the smells from the mask.
So if I'm still alive, let's say I somehow beat the odds and I'm living when I'm older and they don't experience losing their father when they're at a young age, will they be disinterested into the taking their kids on all these adventures so they have memories, or will they be indoctrinated by me doing it so they're like, oh, this is what I should do because my dad did this with me?
Well, do you see a pattern now? So I just ask you like to go on what you know now. So if you guys aren't doing anything, are they restless? Because then that would lead me to believe that they are accustomed to go and go to adventures. But if they just kind of want to,
no, they love it. They're like, yes, nothing to do.
I don't think they like
playing computers.
I think I've said this a long time.
All we wanted to do was play together.
I don't think they care about anything you guys do. I've said this.
I'm so mad.
I've said for
that's the curse.
I've said for almost 3 years. I don't think any of the trips you bring them on, they're like, like,
no.
And I said you might as well just go and
that's the curse.
You know where their family trip should be? Inside Roblox.
They love that more.
You should make a Tom and make a Crystal, and you get your own computers, 4 computers, and you join them like the lawnmower. To fight the lawnmower man, you got to go into the net.
I told them, I'm like, we're going to Sweden in 3 weeks, so get ready. A long ass plane ride, 8 hours.
Yeah, they're probably pumped because that's Roblox.
They're like, yes, 8 hours of Roblox. They're like, no. That's what they're excited about.
You could make them raw dog it, but you're not.
No, too hard.
Because why would you? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either.
Too lazy.
I'm not flying 12 hours and no damn screen.
You can't do it all. Or really anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason in anything anymore, man. I don't know. Like,
it's hard for me to even because we did have a friend's mom in here, and she was like, oh, I'm not, my kids don't even watch TV. No screens in the house.
Yeah, she was a little weirdo.
And no, that's fine. But I love that. I'm like,
wow. She was like that Montessori, like, I want a snack. Well, go get some celery.
Yeah. No, but
like, what do you mean celery? I want a Sunny D mom.
I'm impressed. I'm like, good for you. That's awesome.
No,
that
I trust your mom over that mom all day long. I'll give you a Maryland.
Here's my problem, though. I am going to check in 25 years.
They're going to be nuts, dude.
And no. If they're the same and everybody just just ends up being the same.
No, her kids are going to be nuts.
No, I think it's probably just I lean towards it doesn't even matter that much. Like there's not that much. It's like breastfeeding.
The kids that I know growing up with whose parents took everything away, those kids went nuts.
Yeah, but I understand the other side of it, of the screens. I don't think that much of that kind of thing does that much of anything. Like it doesn't make a difference between a doctor and whatever.
No, it just might change your personality. You just might be the doctor that can't look into people's eyes. You're a great doctor. You just have to swipe to communicate with people.
Yeah. I guess it's the extreme of everything.
Yeah, and I don't think you're there because I don't think your boys are extreme. They're just they're doing too much screen time than you think. But it's probably for them.
Well, it's less than what I know that other,
100%.
But even then, if you're the type of parents like my kids can be on screens as long as they want, then what I'm saying is I don't think that will matter that much to the kids that have regulations or the kids that know screens. It probably will all be just about the same. Like the micro difference, but it's not going to be a huge. It's the same thing with like the breastfeeding and like the amount of stress that moms go through about like if they can't breastfeed.
Right, because it's gonna end up. Hopefully it'll end up detaching itself at some point.
But, it's like, is it scientifically better breast milk than formula? Maybe a little bit. And is it create some sort of bond and all of a sudden? Yes,
it depends on who you talk to. For the most part, they say yes, but it's minimal.
But yeah, in 30 years, everybody's going to be just about the same as they were if they,
That's what we can hope for, right?
Yeah. It's all the same.
Let's try this one right here.
Hey, this message is for Dan. No need to play it on the show unless you want to. But, Dan, I wanted to give you a little advice unsolicited about your...
Should we play it or not play it?
Yeah. What is he going to say?
Hey, this message is for Dan. No need to play it on the show unless you want to. But, Dan, I wanted to give you a little advice unsolicited about your hypochondria. Because I've listened now to you guys for nearly 10 years. And you've always struggled with it. But I've been working... I have OCD, and I've a couple of years now on the obsessive-compulsive disorder, and with that comes the health anxiety. It's often a comorbidity with OCD. A lot of people, a severe amount of people with OCD have some type of health anxiety or hypochondria as well. I have found through my therapy at least, though it may not be applicable to you, that the health anxiety is based in feelings of shame and guilt about the things I am doing. Meaning when I exercise consistently, I eat a bit cleaner, I fill my diet with fruits and veggies, and I don't eat a little, like I eat a lot, but I'm just pounding down fruits and vegetables and stuff. Those intrusive thoughts and those knee-jerk reactions, it's like, oh, pain in my leg, boom, blood clot, I'm about to die, they reduce significantly when I'm really on top of my health game. That may seem obvious, but I wanted, because you talked about on the BDM show about how you're still struggling with it. My suggestion to you is to maybe talk to your therapist or find a new one specifically working on your obsessive-compulsive disorder and about the feelings of, really vocalizing those feelings of shame and guilt if you have them. That has significantly reduced my health anxiety, and, I understand it can be absolute freaking torture. So just wanted to leave this message, give you something to think about, but you probably already know this stuff.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, God.
Very kind. No, he's right. Mine does manifest itself like that. When I'm on top of my game and exercising, then I don't have the hypochondria.
But that's part of it. Don't you understand, historian? Yeah. I eat the triple Whopper in my truck at Walmart. And then my endorphins, all
gives you
the chemicals,
sweet chemicals.
And I'm like, yes. And then I eat it and gorge myself. I'm drinking the Coke, and then I sit there. And then after, that's when I get flooded with the guilt and the shame. And then I take the bag and then I hide it.
I throw it up.
In my
I go behind my car and I puke it. I puke it out.
Yeah. And then the whole rest of the day, I'm Googling. I'm like,
what I do, though, to make sure that
my heart hurts.
You know what you got to do is you got to puke it out. And then whatever you do, don't go brush your teeth because the stomach acid will peel the enamel right off your teeth. So just like you puke it out and then just leave, just stay normal. Don't swish, don't do nothing.
Yeah. Let it burn it out.
Well, I try to keep my mouth wide open so I don't get any of that stomach acid on my teeth.
What I find funny is the people that live in this world that are seemingly not worried about their health whatsoever, even though they live at like a what's the wrestler, Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, he's reckless.
Yeah. Even though he worked out a lot, which I think the way he was working
But he
out was
worked
actually
out-
negative towards his health.
He worked out at a time when working out just meant you lift. I think you lifted heavy. I know you didn't do cardio. You just lifted heavy, and then the only
Your heart will beat.
You would do cardio running in the ring. That's cardio.
Yeah. And you're
then
doing
you'd,
drugs
and then
coke.
you're smoking and loving.
Yeah. And then 32
limousine
drinks a day.
riding. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And then never worried about like, hey, this is gonna be bad for me. And it wasn't.
Yeah, he still looks pretty good.
Yeah, like he's still alive.
I mean, he looks bad, but he still looks pretty good.
But based on his documentary and what he claimed, there's a joke in it how he had he would drink X amount of beers on driving to wherever he went, and then have 7.
He was like 20 beers, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like a 30 drink.
He's like, I'd have 6 shots, 20 beers.
Yeah.
I've been trying to work on a Flair because he has that weird lisp that kind of happens when he's talking. Somebody in the chat room says Ric Flair is like an old truck that never had the transmission fluid changed. If he changed anything now, he'd break down in I-4 and die. Yeah, I kind of felt that way about my leg. Like as soon as healing my hip, it's funny because it'll aggravate an old knee injury, and then I got to work through that, or an ankle, because it's all connected. So you start messing with things, you have to relearn kind of, or understand that you are going to get some weird aches and pains.
And then you're fighting Father Time the whole time. You're trying to make yourself better or healthier or rehab, and then every day you're getting older.
Yeah.
Which is and then
I feel like that guy running up the escalator at
the wrestling.
The wrestling at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Eventually
you throw your stuff.
Yeah. Eventually you just throw your gear to your friend, and then you die.
You just give up, and the whole crowd is watching you die.
All right, here's the last one. We got a lot of these, but here's one more. We'll put a nail in it.
Hey guys, it's Bubble Bath Billy. I think it was last week on an ACT when you guys were talking about beavers and a woman's V and why we call a woman's V a beaver. And I think you guys looked it up and said something about the hair and the fur, and that has something to do with it. But I think you guys missed the obvious, the wood, right? Beavers eat wood, and
but do they really eat it, or do they just
they chomp it? I don't think they ingest it. They just chomp it to make
a
a dam.
More on brand, right? I guess it actually, I asked the question. I got a better answer.
Well, ChatGPT didn't tell us, sir,
Yeah.
so we didn't know. We thought it knew everything.
And we trust ChatGPT with our lives.
Yeah. So once it told us, it was because of the fur.
We asked ChatGPT to vet every guest on the show, and so far it's done us right.
Yeah, it didn't mention the wood part.
Yeah.
And, humans did, and now that makes sense, but ChatGPT didn't for whatever reason. It's weird that it didn't know that.
You know why it probably didn't say that? And I've been thinking about this a lot, but I spent a lot of time with ChatGPT. The reason it didn't say it is it doesn't really do... It's not good at answering things that are spicy. Anything
Or
sexual,
dirty.
it doesn't want to do that. Even yesterday's notes got flagged because we said something about vagina or something, and it got flagged. And then I have to go in there and manually go, okay, use a different word for this. Or
Is that because they are trying to dissuade people from using it inappropriately?
I think so.
What's appropriate? It just the company's
Right.
own morals or whatever.
Who knows? Some days it works, some days it doesn't. There are times when
there's this thing called sex that animals do.
And sometimes I get past the censor and sometimes I can't. It
Yeah.
is really, really weird. Sometimes you can, it'll be fine. And then some days it'll be so touchy. There have been times too when I'll be writing a song or using it to be dirty, and then it'll suddenly shut down because it's the censor caught up to it and was like, no, we're shutting this whole thing down.
It is a weird psychology because in one aspect, I think this is wait a minute, I should be able to say whatever I want. I'm not, I'm saying this. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah.
And but you're you can. but not on our platform owned by this private company. Right. We have regulations. It's like, this is not, you are an American citizen. You can say whatever you want outside. You're
going to sound crazy. I'll put a caveat on
but
it.
you can't, this is not owned by the government. And so you have to follow our regulations. And it doesn't seem right because we're like, wait a minute. This is free speech, and you're like, no, this is a platform.
I want to write a rap song about a hamster's butthole, something dumb like that.
Yeah, it's like this company says you can't, and they can do whatever they want.
I want to play this one for it's like we get Charles in there, and he's like, did you play my voicemail? I want to make sure we play. Okay. I want to do this for Charles because he got scammed.
Hey, Tom and Dan, BDM Charles here, checking in about the scams. The one time I got scammed is the gas station. The guy selling the gold chain. Everything looks legit. Has 14 karat gold on it. Everything looks good. You go to get it checked, and it's completely fake. It's just gold plated. Anyways, I thought you guys would find that interesting. Have a great day.
So you bought the gold chain at the gas station, Charles?
Oh, Charles,
come on.
Sorry, buddy.
Let's think about this for a second.
He's probably a kid when he did it.
They're selling you a gold chain at a gas station. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Seems
you thought it was real.
It's a bit out of place. Yeah, fish out of water.
Yeah, it's like, well,
are there any instances where that would be real?
Well, unless
it's the nicest thing you've ever bought at a gas station.
Outside of it,
sunglasses.
Well, those speakers, those blue Rhino speakers in the white van.
Oh, you're just like Charles. Charles, you should have started the email with "I'm just like you, Tom."
No, but the speakers worked, and they were fine.
The chain worked. It just was plated. It was just plated.
Yeah. But you got vastly overcharged.
Where are we at with costume jewelry now? Because sometimes I get these weird ads where it's like, I think the brand is called like Rexon or Nixon or something, and it's like high end, like, and I don't know why I get the ad, but it's like high end, like costume jewelry for like sports athletes.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe because of Macy or something. I don't know why I get it.
Because I'm sure they get them made to look real because their real chain is, $280,000, and they can't. If that gets lost or whatever.
These are almost just like a gold chain, like that, like even like of one like that you had from your grandfather. But instead of being real gold, these are just like. They're like they look great, but they're not. They're worth nothing. They're literally like there's nothing precious about it.
The Chad Ochocinco used to on Hard Knocks did the whole thing. He'd buy his earrings at Claire's, and they're giant fake diamond earrings. And he's like, people think they're real for sure because I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
And so, they're fake. They cost $9.
I wouldn't wear the real ones either.
But then we find out later he's just crazy. And then it's like, well, it's embarrassing that you do this, Chad. You understand? Like that's because you're wearing.
Yeah, and then
like
he's
the whole
I'm
point.
Crazy.
The whole point of jewelry is like, wow, this person's rich.
Yeah.
You're showing the world how rich you are, and if you're telling people that it's fake, then they know you're just like you're a fake person, right? You're pretending to be rich, even though you are rich. You don't want to spend the money for it. Back to
I'm crazy,
and back to the fake GoFundMe. Like you can afford this. So what are you doing? Like what you're doing now is crazy.
Jackson, thank you. EMH82 in the chat room gave me the name of it. Yes, that is exactly, and I'm going to get more of them now. The name of the brand is Jackson, and they make. I see them. They're very popular. Oh, I think I know why I get it. Baseball, because like it's very popular. Like young men, young boys that are like in middle school age, high school. You'll wear like your baseball uniform. You're gonna have a couple. You have a couple chains on. You might have a chain, a gold, a silver chain on.
They allow chains in the NFL. You'll see a wide receiver's chain come out of his jersey.
I wear a chain now. I wear a chain now. I'm going into my homeless old man phase. Andrea bought me this years ago.
Is that a monster dog?
Yeah, this is my monster dog. Yeah, I need to talk to you about something. I'm going back, baby. Hey, Remy, come on in here. We'll start the introduction.
I want to go back to so much work. Damn it. All right. We'll see you in a minute.